Everyone aims to have a life full of contentment, waking up without worries and hardships. But how can an individual achieve this? Is it possible? Stay with me until the end of the podcast, and hopefully, you, our passengers, could get some ideas.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Flight to Youth 22. We are currently first in line for takeoff and are expected to be on air in approximately 20 seconds' time. We ask that you please fasten your seatbelts at this time and turn off any distractions as your full attention is highly appreciated. Before we begin, let us first correct our niyat lillahi ta'ala and open both our hearts and minds. Thank you for choosing Legends Airline of Kasan. We hope you enjoy your flight.
Assalamualaikum and hello passengers of Legends Airline. This is Amal speaking, your captain for this episode with the topic, What Makes a Good Life? I would like to emphasize that there are various secrets to thrive in this life, not limited to what I will be covering later. Hence, feel free to take many other points, whichever ways work best for you. Okay, let us first analyze the topic, good life. Briefly, good is something that brings benefit to us, perhaps even that made us feel happy, excited, or even memorable times. What about life then? We all have different meanings of what life is. In the first episode, Alia sees life as a gift, while Rabiatul sees it as a test. As for me, life has its ups and downs. Not all bad is bad. Some are first seen as bad occurrences, but behind the curtains, these bad events are what brings the best version of ourselves. We need to begin this journey by analyzing what makes us unhappy. Sometimes we go through our daily life macam biasa, but we do not realize that there are actually many factors that prevent us from being happy. For example, we could be surrounded by toxic people, hari-hari ada saja terbias negativity dari dorang. Or frequent self-sabotage. No one looked down on us, but our own self did. Or perhaps, we keep on committing sins. Dah sadar-sadar, ada titik hitam growing in our hearts. And the list goes on. Once we understand the factors, we then need to work on them by changing them with something better or eliminate them. Which brings me to my next point. Have a goal in life. Ladies and gentlemen, when getting out of our bed, continuing with our daily routines, are we actually aware of our goals? Do we know specifically what we aim for in life? Recently, I had an attachment at repass. I asked one of the doctor what his goal in life is. He answered something like this. Goal ani not just on materialism. Contoh, having a high-paying job, good cars, and many more. You know, you go to school, work, get older, and then you passed away. So we return back to our Creator. Your ultimate goal is to be in heaven. Our goal is to view it from a spiritual perspective too. In other words, we do not wander around aimlessly. Of course, we have responsibility to carry out, but what we could do is do it with the right intentions for the sake of Allah. And whatever that we do to achieve our other goals, as long as it is under Allah's guidance. Okay, so now on top of our head, perhaps ada goal yang terlintas And even though we have dreams to achieve, it doesn't mean that we had to work all the time in order to accomplish it. This brings us to our next point, balance between work and entertainment. I mean, Hindi akan duduk menghadap notes until we neglect our sleep. Consider your health too. Consider time for meals and rest. And if possible, go do your hobbies. Go do something that makes you happy. In a nutshell, if we overwork, we don't have the energy to go throughout the day, correct? And if our physical health macam kurang, hindi terjaga, so does our mental health. And then our next step in life, after we do this and that, after whatever we achieve in life, it is essential for us to be grateful, even on the smallest things. Sleeping under a roof, syukur. Ada makanan atas meja, syukur. Perkara yang tadi always lupa untuk bersyukur is one, our health. Even myself sometimes forgot to. If you're not grateful of what has been given to us, there is a probability that we then start to not appreciate and be arrogant of the blessings that we have. Even sometimes, we are living at ease. We tend to forget the Almighty. But when our life changed due to some problems, we immediately put our hands together and ask Allah for help. I mean, we were not grateful of the blessings. And then we ask Allah only when we need it. Let's have a reflect. So those are the things that we need to have a reflect on. So we already have our own aims in life. So kita ni create plans and we execute our plans in order to accomplish our goals. Perhaps sweat and tears already keluar because of how difficult our journey was. Even if things didn't go right with what we had planned, don't dwell on the past. Dwelling on the past is a waste of time. So we reda dengan qada and qadar Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So we have to understand that whatever Allah does, even if we perceive it to be negative, it's actually not negative. It's an opportunity. And it's a positive one. Why? Because it will bring you closer to Allah. Dear passengers, we have arrived at the end of the podcast. With that, I add a translation from Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse 28. Those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah. Unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured. Thank you for still listening. Do follow our social media tagged in the description box to stay updated. Until then, take care. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.